everybody, and welcome to another episode of Death By, where contestants will earn reps for their arguments for a chance to stand on top of the podium. I am your host, Lauren Khalil. Whoever I decide has the best argument through the final round will earn 30 seconds to talk about a topic of their choosing. Today's sponsor, we want to thank Thirdzy. I've recently been using their PM Recovery Collagen every night before bed, especially as I have been traveling like crazy during this off season. Right now, I'm getting ready to go to the UK, the UAE. I never know what time zone I'm in, but thanks to Thirdzy, I am able to get the sleep that I need in order to get back to a regulated system and make sure that I'm not wearing my body down as I am on the road. Something else that I love about Thirdzy is they are melatonin free, and it helps me get in some of those extra supplements that I was taking earlier. It's all in Thirdzy. If you want an opportunity to get a discount and try to improve your sleep, especially as we approach the open season, make sure you go to thirdzy.com. That's THIRDZY.com. Use our code DEATHBY. You can save extra money. Guys, we are less than 3 months away from the open. You really want to be dialing in on your sleep, and Thirdzy, it's going to be your best friend this season. Now, to get into today's episode, we have affiliate owner and CrossFit analyst Chase Ingraham with Get With The Programming, the founder and head coach of Underdogs Athletics, Justin Cotler, supporting Chase, and CrossFit Games reporter Niki Brazier with Kettlebells and Cocktails. Let's play Death By. Topic number 1. Just last week, CrossFit HQ announced price increases to affiliate fees and new certification requirements for affiliate owners. With the additional revenue to HQ, they said in a letter to affiliates, "This increase will allow us to continue to invest in you. Over the coming months, you'll hear a lot more from us about our commitment and plans to deliver additional value. In 2024, expect to see us focus on 3 key areas: growth, quality, and tools and support." So to you guys, what is the most important thing that you want to see CrossFit invest in with the additional income, whether it falls under these focus areas or is it something different? Chase, we'll let you start round one.
Sure, I'm trying to go last on this one.
Okay, sure. You're going to go last. Niki, you can go first.
Okay, cool. Chase makes the rules. Got it. Love that. Okay, so I would like to see, and I have a biased opinion on this, obviously, because this is what I do for a living, but I would like to see CrossFit HQ invest more heavily in helping affiliates with their marketing efforts. And that can mean so many different things. But one of the biggest things that we consistently hear affiliate owners complain about, ask for support on, is getting people in the door. They need boots on the ground. They need members in their affiliate to help with growth and to help pay the bills and put food on their tables. And the only way to continue the growth is by continuously getting the word out there. There are so many different methods and ways to get the word out there about local affiliates and CrossFit methodology as a whole. And it is really, really complicated, right? This is my full-time job. Like, brands cannot do all their marketing efforts on their own because they are busy running their companies. So there are so many different things that CrossFit can help with, especially in a digital perspective in this day and age, figuring out how to get the word out there via ads that can get to the people that are local to the affiliates, that can integrate well with social media and the other things that they're looking to get out there as far as stories about their affiliate goes. And you cannot expect gym owners to know and understand how to do that. It's not fair. They have to run their own businesses. They have to, they have to coach, they have to train their coaches to coach, they have to do all these other things. And it's a huge ask. So helping in the marketing department of each individual affiliate to help them get members in the door, I think would be a great investment.
Do you think that they need one specific marketing agency or strategy, or should this be something that's almost regional to specific areas like North America, South America, Oceania?
Well, yeah, I mean, every different part of the world is going to have sort of different needs when it comes to let's just say digital marketing. Let's just kind of like narrow the pipe a little bit. And I know that CrossFit developed a sort of like toolkit that they distributed last year that sort of started to help with figuring out and understanding how to do that kind of thing. But I think that having real humans inside of HQ that are able to actually interact with affiliates and answer questions and help them figure out, well, what is the message that I'm putting out there, and via what channel, and here's an ad I made. What do you think? And how many dollars do I need to put behind it? Because all of these social platforms nowadays say that they have self-serve ad platforms, but they are so incredibly complicated. Like, that's a misnomer. You basically need a degree to understand exactly how to work them effectively for your company. So I think having people who could like literally answer questions for the affiliate owners or the marketing people responsible for those kind of decisions within the affiliates, and making it a little bit more customized or a little bit more unique as the year goes on. That's a big ask, but I mean, we have these roundtable discussions, we have these regional discussions where people can ask questions and things. And I think developing a marketing portion of that where affiliate owners can get their individual questions answered could be really helpful.
4 points for Niki. Chase, you're actually going to go next because I have a follow-up question to Niki's. As somebody who works closely with affiliates in your region, is this something that could be possible?
Absolutely, it's possible. I mean, marketing, that's a very broad scheme, right? There's a lot of ways to do it, as Niki was saying earlier. And yeah, marketing's great. Marketing, media, affiliate support on all fronts of that. But there's a lot of other things outside marketing that's more specific to what can help affiliate owners. And with this price increase is the scope of what will really help affiliate owners. And as Niki was saying, it's like, yes, they're great coaches and need to focus on the community, but they're also business owners. Let's not forget this. Like, their job is to run the business. You cannot be a great coach. You cannot foster a great community if you don't have a business to support those efforts. So it's two hats they have to wear. That's the gig. And where CrossFit can help is on the digital marketing front, is that capturing things on Google searches like fitness, CrossFit. Like, if you Google in CrossFit, it's not the top thing anymore. Other companies are spending money to capture these things, and CrossFit is going to retake what that is. That is part of the effort. Nicole Carroll said this on the town hall, is they are going to make a concerted effort to go after that digital net to capture things that we owned 10 years ago. And over the last 10 years is these other brands that have been copying CrossFit, like the F45s and the Orange Theories and everything else in between, which are just esques of what we have created and perfected, is they're going to work on that digital front. But the other thing is, Niki was saying, is like, yeah, tell our stories, but in every country, tell our stories. Go back to the grassroots of what made CrossFit great. We founded this thing on real life heroes. Look at the military, look at our first responders, the fire department, the police, the teachers, the things that are the grassroots that will change the landscape of how people perceive CrossFit. But we have to get the marketing outside of the CrossFit bubble. We have to go after the people who think CrossFit is dangerous. We have to go after the people who don't even know what CrossFit is or have a misconception of where. That's where our marketing efforts need to go, outside of just the CrossFit community.
Well, and I think you bring up a great point about getting the search to go up for CrossFit, but to combat that, how do we get people to actually put it into the search on their computer or their phones or tablets?
Yeah, it's super cyclical in that respect.
What do you mean, put it into their?
Like, how do they even know to Google CrossFit in the first place? It's this is like the vicious cycle of marketing. It's like
CrossFit near me or CrossFit in this city.
Right, but how do we let people know, like, that this is something that they should be Googling, like, instead of Googling Orange Theory?
It's not even just CrossFit. It should be CrossFit, fitness, working out, push-up, air squat, burpee. Every single keyword that we have perfected in our CrossFit training methodology should be connected directly to CrossFit.
Right.
And that should be directly connected to our affiliate map, where now we can start putting people in contact with these affiliates worldwide. It shouldn't just be CrossFit that we own. We should own every single keyword and metric in the fitness space.
And I will say that part of what makes that really difficult, not to get too granular, but part of what makes that really difficult from a marketing budget perspective, if you're like the CMO and you're trying to figure out how to really do this or execute this within HQ, is attribution is a fucking nightmare. So you can spend all this money to try to figure out how to buy Google AdWords, which is what Chase is talking about, or how to make digital advertisements that target a whole bunch of different people, not just CrossFit people, not just low-hanging fruit, but anyone interested in changing their lives or broader health or losing weight or whatever. And then it is very, very difficult, in fact, damn near impossible to attribute exactly what is working where and how you can track the dollars. Like, I spent $1 million on this effort. Did people walk into the gym because of that or because of this? It really kind of all funnels up to like brand awareness and these really squishy, soft metrics that financial people don't like to pay for. And I get where that comes from, but it's all really important and it all works out in the end. You just kind of have to feel it in your bones. And there are some KPIs you can work out, but some that you can't. And that's kind of oftentimes what makes the marketing argument a little bit more difficult. Just to play a little devil's advocate.
Thank you. we love that.
Did you just
here.
devil's advocate yourself?
A little bit. It's I would be very honest about it. I'd be like, you got to pay me for this, and these are the KPIs we can read, and these are the ones we can't.
But it doesn't work to play devil's advocate.
It all works. I'm just saying that attribution can be really difficult. If you want a dollar for dollar, I spend $1 on marketing, and I get 2 sneakers, feet on the ground, boots on the ground in the affiliate. I can't do that for you. That's not how it works.
Chase, 5 points. Thank you for clearing up the question that I had. You got to the answer that I was looking for. Justin Cotler, poor man. He's always just waiting to speak and waiting for his turn. We're 10 minutes in and Justin hasn't said anything yet.
Unbelievable.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You're up, Justin.
So I'm going to look at this a little bit differently. I tend to look at things from the sports side, and that's where I'm going to take this. So with the increase in affiliate fees, with the increase in the quarterfinal athlete pool, we're seeing a trend here. And the way that I look at it is I would love to see CrossFit invest more and back into storytelling and media, the Miles to Madison series, storytelling about athletes. The way that I think this thing, really gets into people's homes, and we talk about, getting more people into affiliates, is the visibility of the sport. There's nobody that markets the sport better than the superhumans that are doing it on the world stage. And I think last year really took a step back as far as what we saw, getting rid of the Miles to Madison series, the way that the semifinals were broadcast, and we didn't even get to see all of the, all of the events. Although I will say, hey, Chase did a great job of trying to do the podcast, which was amazing. But I think that the quality level took a step back last year. And now we've got these opportunities with the teens having their own dedicated event, with the masters having their own dedicated event, with the games really being able to focus on individuals and teams. And I think if they can put together a media package for all of these events, they could really kick ass this year. We could get some unbelievable content to be able to sell to the public, to be able to create more visibility for the public. Because I'll say it, till I'm blue in the face. I think we need more, reality-like stories to be able to get in front of the public. We're missing the boat, and we've got some great opportunities this year to do that.
So a follow-up question to that, and I don't necessarily know if there's a right or wrong answer. I guess until we were to do it, do you think that the marketing or the media efforts would be better highlighting the games athletes and the storytelling of them, or kind of as Chase was messaging, the first responders, the military, the people who are losing all of this weight from finding CrossFit? Like where are you going to get more bang for your buck with the media efforts? And that question is really to all of you.
I think you do both, honestly. I think because at the end of the day, you've got people who want to aspire to be these incredible athletes, but at the same time, they take a look at the person who lives next door, or the person that, their cousin who, lost 20 pounds and is the best in the best shape of their life because they've been a member of a box for a year. I think there's opportunities on both sides. And I think we really have missed that. At least I have over the last year or two. And I think there's an opportunity there from both sides. And I think there needs to be a concerted effort though, from the marketing and media, CrossFit side to really push that, because I think that we could create content that can, as Niki and Chase have been talking about, can get fannies into these boxes.
Yeah.
I think it's leveraging the eyes on the sport at that time of year to get to the ears of people who don't really understand what's actually happening out on the competition floor.
Yeah.
And we've done it like 2018, we were crushing that.
Yeah.
Absolutely crushing that from the media marketing side, because you looked at every CrossFit commercial during the games or semifinals or open and moving to that. And it was all about what CrossFit truly is. And what CrossFit truly is a life-saving, life-changing training methodology to its core, at its foundation. The games is great. And we can do a better job telling, I would say, athlete story at that certain point in time. But if we really want to think about what is going to move the biggest needle for CrossFit worldwide for everyone in this community, it is telling those real world, not real world, that the sport athletes aren't, like, they just live in a different stratosphere as far as what CrossFit is, but like real life, real issues, real problems, like, and all of those with real solutions, right? And I think that's where the magic lies. And if we can do a combination of both and leverage each other to support, like that's the thing, right? We always try to separate games and affiliates, or games and CrossFit. It's like they work together so beautifully. There's a reason why we were at its peak in that 2018, 2017, 2018. Like, we were hitting on all cylinders everywhere. And it's because it was a jointed effort on all sides. So I would like to see not one diminish the other or one less than the other, but like, can they work together in a way to build this thing to how great we know it could be?
Yeah. I mean, we do need both. We need all of those different topics, but the reality is we don't know what will work best in different marketing messages. And when you do acquisition marketing, you have to do pitch testing. You do not know which type of message will resonate with which different audience. And we're just guessing at this point. You would have to run really sophisticated tests and spend money to figure out the types of messaging and the types of imagery and the types of stories that resonate with our audiences. And we may think it's one thing because we know and love this methodology and this community so much, but the general public, especially the acquisition public, the top of funnel people who know nothing about our sport, and we want to bring them into the affiliates, they might resonate with something completely different. They probably, just from an experience standpoint, and I've worked with many different health and wellness companies, they probably will resonate most with a weight loss message, because that is sort of the broadest type of health message that the most of our country, I can only really speak for marketing in the US, the most of our country will resonate with. And so figuring out how to leverage the different types of assets and the different types of stories within our community we have that speak to what actually works in the marketplace, that's what we need to do. More than say it should be the games athletes, it should be aspirational, or it should be, wonderful stories from within our community. It should be what works to get people in the door and to get affiliate owners paid.
Everybody needs to get paid. Before we head to topic number 2, quick yes or no. Oh, Justin Cotler earned 4 points for his discussion. Yes or no from each of you. Do you think that CrossFit media will get back to what we saw in 2018?
Yes. I want it to, so I'm going to say yes.
I hope so.
The reality of that answer is no.
Okay, great. Chase.
But that's not in terms of quality, but like, they had an entire department doing that. So the answer is no. Now, can we still perform that in a way that's more pointed and calculated to do that with either collaborating with media in the space to do this? Yes. Do we have a lot more voices in the CrossFit space to tell these stories around the world? Absolutely, unequivocally, yes. So can we get to that? Yes. Will it look different in a different way? That's also yes. So no, it won't be like it used to be, but yes, it could possibly be better.
Okay, let's move on to topic number 2. We are getting into some sports-specific discussions now. This is going to be a 2-part answer. We'll start with just the first question. The Dubai CrossFit Championship, it takes place this weekend, and there are some big name athletes on that roster. Number 1, the first question. Justin Cotler is going to start with this one. Ricky Garrard or Roman Krenikov, who is taking the W? I'm sure I can expect what your response is going to be, but make us believe it, Justin. Let's hear it.
Obviously, it's Ricky. I think, and honestly, it's going to be a hell of a battle. I mean, you saw what happened with these two guys down at Wadapalooza, earlier this year. And I think we would have seen a lot of the same at the games, obviously, if Ricky hadn't gotten hurt. But Ricky, just knowing Ricky, he's having the time of his life right now. I mean, I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch some of Down Under, but he took a couple of our young underdogs athletes and obviously they kicked ass this past week. I mean, finishing second and beating a team that's with some pretty hefty athletes in Tola, Noah, and Chandler. And he's having the time of his life. He's excited to be back on the competition floor. Some of these workouts have come out and it's very good workouts for him. He loves Dubai. It's one of his favorite places. The events are not extremely machine heavy, which they have been in the past. And Roman obviously has an advantage with machines, but they're not extremely machine heavy. And I think Ricky's just ready to throw it down, man. I think he's ready to go. So I think Ricky will win. I think it'll be tight, but I think Ricky will win.
All right, Justin, 3 points because I expected your answer. I mean, not much of a shock value. That's okay. Chase, you're up next. Who's going to win?
All right. So, Ricky having the time of his life is great. Him getting back from shoulder injury. It's great to see that back. I love seeing Ricky in competition. It's good. He got to come back for his first event in Dubai. I guess it was last year, which is wild to think, or the year before.
2021.
2021. Yeah. And who also is coming back from injury and has not competed recently and did better in the most recent head-to-head competition is Roman Karenikov. Because as much as Ricky likes Dubai, Roman owns Dubai. And I'm going to put Roman Karenikov out there because he's done events like this in the past. You see some repeats. There's a lot of nods to the old days of old Dubai events, and Roman has always done very well. I think it's going to be a great matchup head-to-head. It's going to be 2 clashes of the Titans in this, but Roman is going to emerge victorious at the end of the weekend.
Is it going to come down to the last workout?
I hope so.
Actually, I hope it does. It'll be so fun.
Okay, Chase, we're going to give you 4 points for that. Niki,
this is a
who's
hard
your
one.
Money on?
This is a really hard one for me because I feel like there's like a lot of emotion around this competition. I'm with Chase that Roman really owns Dubai, and I got to know Roman in Dubai, and I am always impressed by Roman in Dubai, and my money was on Roman at Rogue. However, I will say, I don't know what kind of world tour you guys are cooking up here, Justin, with Ricky right now. I don't know if he's just kind of like feeling out the field or if he's trying to terrify everyone. Like he's going from competition to competition and he does not give 2 shits that he's back from injury. He is like taking on everyone in every corner of the world. And I think he's going to get into the athletes' heads. Like he is coming for you over here, and he's not taking a break. And he's gotten in my head a little bit too, where I'm like, why in the world is this guy doing this globetrotting and taking on anything everywhere? I don't think he would do it if he wasn't confident that he could stand atop the podium. So I'm going to go with Ricky.
Ooh,
nice.
Okay, Niki, I'm going to give you 5 points for that one.
Okay.
I like the mind game.
I'm fine with that. I like 5 points there. Good job. That's an answer.
Okay, now part B, second part of the question, still Dubai Fitness Championship. Will Karin Freyova defend her title from last year?
Me?
Yeah, we'll say same order for this.
Go back to me.
Back to you.
I think this is a really interesting question because Karin Frey has been unbelievable in Dubai. She seems to perform her best there. But I'm going to say no. And I'm going to go with the very kind of underrated and unheralded Emma Tall.
Mm-hmm.
I was unbelievably impressed with what she did at the games. With an event win in Alpaca, and I just thought she was incredibly consistent throughout the weekend. And I know she experienced a minor injury. And sat out of Rogue. But to be honest with you, the last time that they were head to head, Emma finished in front of Karin, and I was more impressed at the games, with Emma than I was with Karin. So I'm going to say Emma Tall. I think she's going to pull off a bit of an upset.
Love a good upset. I'm going to give you 4 points for that one, Justin. Chase?
Ooh, well, Karin Freyova, as you said earlier, is synonymous with basically her coming out party at Dubai, along with people like Roman, but especially with ones that like Laura Horvath. That's when we first got our first view at what Laura could be. And Karin Freyova has been one of those, and she has been getting better and better every year. And if you look at the field who's competing this weekend, there's a couple of new names in there that haven't usually been there. Emily Rolfe's in the mix with that. You see Lauren Fisher, that's back in individual competition since Rogue. But the last time we saw a list of these names, very similar, was the 2023 Madrid CrossFit Championship, was just in September, and Karin Freyova rolled over everyone. And I say, I'm going to see the same thing because she was sick at Rogue, and she wants to prove that Madrid was not a fluke, and Karin Freyova will go back to back.
Ooh, 5-pointer for Chase. 5-pointer for Chase. Niki?
I don't think that you can compare Madrid as a competition and their programming and their all the things that they throw at you in Dubai. You cannot compare one to the other and say that it's definitely going to be this sort of like steamroll over the competition situation. I think when you look over the list of athletes that are going to Dubai, they are much more even, especially, most of the ones coming out of Europe, like they're sort of across the board. One could really elbow out another one quite easily. And there are some names on this list that I wouldn't necessarily count out. I mean, you mentioned Emily Rolfe, that we have seen Dubai kind of at both ends of the extremes when it comes to programming. Like, yes, they might run in the desert for 150 miles, but also they might pick up the heaviest boulder you've ever seen in your life. And so I'm not sure that you can necessarily put a specialist in there and say that she will be the one to really knock Karin off the top of the leaderboard. But I do think that there's a little bit too much evenness in the athletes, the female athletes, especially the ones coming out of Europe. And especially when you look at names like Manon Anguinez, who we saw at Rogue, who actually did better than I had expected her to do, because it was the first time that we saw her in a showcase of so few athletes. And athletes of such an incredible caliber. And I'm even looking at athletes like Jacqueline Dahlstrom, who has done well in Dubai in the past, and we have seen her do well at the games in the past in individual events. And even athletes like Mia Hesketh, who's come back very strong after having a baby. Like, I'm just really curious to see how the entire rest of the field out of Europe has been elevating its game alongside Karin. And I don't think it's like a made competition for her yet. We'll see.
Some perspective in trying to set Chase straight. I'm going to give you 6 points for that, Niki.
Wow.
Wow.
What? Jacqueline Dahlstrom got her ass beat by 230 points in Madrid.
I don't think you can compare those competitions.
Great point. She got 7. 6 points.
At the games, though, Emma Tall came in 11th, Emily Rolfe came in 12th, and Karin Freyova came in 14th. So, and that to me, the program is going to be a little bit more like that in Dubai.
I don't know if Justin's out here trying to defend me or just trying to stop Chase from being Chase, but it's working. I'll take it.
Either or, it's fantastic.
Sounds good.
I think it'll be a good battle, man.
Yeah.
And I think Manon really stepped up. She had a very disappointing games for her. She stepped up big time at Rogue, which was very impressive. She's really solid across the board, so I expect her to be in the mix as well. But it's a sneaky good field. I mean, I think it's an exceptional field on the men's side. But it's a sneaky good field on the women's side for sure.
It's a tough competition, I think, to garner some of the biggest names in the sport, just with where it is and the time of year. And so it's really interesting to see some of the giant names out of Europe really make up this leaderboard for the women without necessarily like one or two where I've been like, yeah, she's going to take it. She's going to win. She always wins, because they have had that in the past. Like, to Chase's point, they've had the Lauras and those people in the past.
Yeah.
So it just feels like more of anyone's game to me, at least this year.
We will know in
fun.
just a few days. And speaking of high-level competitions, another one is going to be taking place this weekend, FitFest in the UK. Now, this competition is unique, though, because they're bringing in a stacked field of CrossFit Games athletes that will be on these super teams in a way of a showcase. There'll be 3 teams in total. Each will have 6 athletes. And what I'm going to have you all do right now, you're not going to pick an entire team, but I will have you guys as each captains, and you will pick 2 men and 2 women. It's okay if there's crossover. Chase, we're going to let you start for this round.
Anyone?
Yep, 2 men, 2 women. It doesn't matter
In the
which
whole
team you're the
sport,
captain.
or
No,
who's
no, no, no.
competing this weekend?
Who's competing this
Oh,
weekend?
Okay, yeah. I'm like, that's how I did it.
there you
Okay.
go.
Don't get too crazy here.
Okay.
Oh, from Dubai.
From
from
FitFest.
FitFest.
Who's
Oh.
competing at FitFest? Do you even know who's competing at FitFest this weekend?
Chase, do your homework.
I did ask what the question was, to be fair.
Do you want me to go first so that you have
No, I'll
know
go
who
first.
might be in it?
It's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. I got this. All right, team. I'll start with the women.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
In team, we know that the women are vital, right? Vital to have success. I need some dogs on this team. So my first lead dog is one of the baddest bees in the game, and I'm going to start with Danielle Brandon. That's number 1.
She a
Number
bad
2
bee.
She is a bad bee.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm going to go with an underdog, not from underdogs, but an underdog. And I believe someone who gets overlooked, but is also a dog in her own right too. And I'm going to say Ariel Lowen. And we're just going to dominate on the gymnastics side and the nastiness and just get gritty in the middle in this team competition. So those are my ladies. On the men, I need some athletes. I need some dudes who can hang. I need some dudes who can clang and bang in the trenches and also get upside down and maybe work the bikes a bit. I need Jason Hopper and Dallin Pepper. And those are my bad dudes to go with my bad bees. And it's going to be a hell of a team. And that's without even looking at who's competing. But I saw some Instagram pictures like a couple weeks ago.
It's amazing how wrong someone can be. Unbelievable.
Wow. These off weeks are vicious.
Yeesh.
Bad
Dang.
dudes, bad bees. What's
Bad
your team
dudes,
name going to
bad
be,
dudes.
Chase?
Oh, man. I don't
Putting you
know.
on the spot
The team name just in my head would get me canceled for sure. So I'm just going to team canceled. Team canceled.
Okay.
We tried it once. We can try it again.
Oh, you're can't even
Killer bees.
concentrate
That's
right
good.
now.
Wow.
I
That's
do
good.
like that. The killer bees.
Killer bees.
Unprepared, but was able to answer on the fly. I'm going to give you 3 points for that. That,
Yeah.
Thank you. I had a whole list here of just people, but like I was like, oh, this is the wrong list.
A whole list of past and present athletes.
Well, I had 6 people of who are competing-ish because I thought it was going to be 3 men, 3 women, like the format. But that's okay.
You're right. I did change on the fly, so that's half my bad. But
Right.
you'll still get 3 points.
How about a half point for half your bad? That's it.
Yeah. Justin Cotler, I'll let you go next.
Well, it can only be 2 women. I mean, there's not really even a choice as to who it should be. So I'm going to go with the obvious Emma Lawson and Alex Kazan. I mean, you ain't going to get much better than that. You've got, 2 of probably the fastest upcoming stars in the sport, 2 of the top 5 women in the world, one who finished second at the games, one who finished 5th. And the 2 who have the highest trajectory of any women still left in CrossFit. And I have a feeling the 2 that will be dominating the podium in the next few years. And then on the men's side, I'm going, oh, Canada, baby. I mean, Pat Vellner and Brent Fikowski, man. Come on. So I think you got Emma Lawson, you got Alex Kazan, you got Pat Vellner, you got Brent Fikowski. You got a ton of people who have, top 5 all over the board from the CrossFit Games. And that's a stacked squad, man.
Strong potential on the team. 5 points for Justin Cotler. Niki Brazier, bring us home.
I am calling my team consistency. And I picked some athletes that I feel like have just shown such solid consistency across the board over the last number of seasons. So on the women's side, I'm going with Ariel Lowen and Emma Lawson. And on the men's side, I'm going with Pat Bellner and BKG. Because I think we have no idea really yet how exactly this format for the showcase is going to shake out. We don't really know programming wise exactly what everything is going to look like. And if I had to throw the unknown and unknowable at those 4 athletes, I think they could probably handle it the best. That's where I landed.
Team consistency. I'll give you 3 points for that, Niki. And even so, you still win this episode of Death by.
Woefully unprepared with no final podium topic.
Oh, come on. You always have a topic in the back of your head.
I do not. I will think of one.
I do
in the next 10
not.
seconds. Oh, okay. Shit.
You can pass your podium pedestal to another contestant if you choose to.
Does anyone have a rant they've just been dying to get off their chest? Because Chase is born with
A
rants.
rant? No, I don't have a rant.
No, not really. No.
Yeah.
We're all just getting along so well. No one has
The
anything
programming, the games program haven't come out yet. That's when my rants are. Rants are made for opening quarterfinals only.
Man, I don't know. I got to talk on my last topic, which was how masters athletes are the best athletes in CrossFit. So there's that. That's like my one big. I will stand on that soapbox all day.
No, I'm not here for my soapbox.
Oh man, I was trying to switch it up for you.
That's for another day. None of you have a soapbox.
I have I didn't have a rant to say, but I had something prepared.
Ooh,
sure, let's hear it.
I'll pass it off to Justin. I'm still gonna take the win, but I'll pass off the rant portion to Justin. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's been super cool, I think, at being so heavily into the sports side of things as I am. Like these last couple of weeks with Down Under and now with Dubai and now with FitFest, it's been an exciting time in the off season to be able to watch some of our favorite athletes compete. And I think for me, I'm loving like the little bit of off season vibe we got going with some of these great athletes being able to compete. We have such that that long time between Rogue and then with Wadapalooza. And yes, Dubai, is amazing, but it's one of those things where generally, because it's it's a 12-hour difference for me, it's hard to watch. But now with FitFest and Dubai and Down Under all in sequential weekends, we're getting our fix of CrossFit sport, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's fun. I think season structure in and of itself is a topic that we could probably all rant on for the next 2 hours
until the end of time.
But I think that we all can agree that the more opportunities for the athletes to showcase their talent, the more opportunities for us to watch them, and the more opportunities for them to continue to try to make a living off of being in the sport professionally, the better across the board. How and where and why they should play into the overall quote unquote CrossFit official season in and of itself is something that I think everyone has a very specific opinion on. But I'm with you, Justin. I want more opportunities to keep watching people in different formats.
Well, you're going to get to see Ricky compete every single weekend from now until the beginning of the season. So get ready to see a lot of Ricky.
Good for him.
We can't wait
for all that time. Yeah.
So many great competitions going on this weekend. We have the Dubai Fitness Championship, we have FitFest, and we also have Legends that will be going on this weekend. Make sure you guys check out their YouTube channels as well as Instagram accounts. I know I will be at FitFest helping them with some of their coverage. But for now, Justin Cotler, Chase Ingraham, Niki Brazier, thank you so much for joining us along. Playing again. Congratulations to Niki. And thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you next time.